AFCON is taking place in Cameroon, and there's been lots of giant slaying. Algeria, Tunisia humbled, Ghana humbled as well. Leroy, you've been doing commentary on AFCON 2021 for Sky Sports in the UK. From your perspective, how has the tournament been?
It's been brilliant. I love the AFCON. It hasn't let me down. Look, some of the favourites have been terrific. Cameroon, the host, started the game off with an absolutely absorbing game, and Abu Bakar's been terrific. There's always one superstar who comes through. I know he's 29 years old, but he's a superstar. The amount of goals he's scored and the type of goals he's scored is wonderful. And it's always nice for a tournament where the hosts are doing well because it makes the atmosphere great. But as you said, Superior, there's been some shocks. I think the biggest shock was a game that I commentated on was the Ghana against Comoros. You know, what a game that was. You know, Ghana they 1-0 up in the previous game against Gabon and then conceded a late goal and had players sent off after the final whistle. And you thought, yeah, but they'll come back and they get the job done. You know, when you've got Thomas Partey and the Ayew brothers, you know, it's more like a dynasty rather than a football team. And then to have Andre sent off in that first 15 minutes, well, I thought it was really unfortunate to get sent off. I don't think he had any other. I think he could only just go for the ball, and maybe another referee doesn't even look at it as a sending off. But he did get sent off. Comoros got their goals, and you're thinking, no, this is going to be tough for Ghana. But they were terrific then, Ghana. They were better with 10 men than they were with 11. And then Comoros get the winner to go through and send Ghana out. And that's typical Africa Cup of Nations. We've had some dodgy refereeing. We've had some dodgy timekeeping. We've had dodgy, but the football has been pure Africa. And that's what, you know, it's been athletic, it's been technically good, and the noise and the sound from the crowd, it's been pure Africa, which is just something that we should all celebrate.
No, that's great. That's great, Leroy. A lot has been said about the officiating. You touched on it. How have you seen it?
Well, look, they're obviously talking about the referee who finished the game early. There's no, what can you say? Look, he's made a horrendous mistake there. But in general, the officiating's been decent. And to go into VAR for clarity, it's just about, you know, the thing with, it's not a VAR, it's about whoever's in VAR. It's about opinion. And some of the penalties that have been given for handball, I would disagree with. But what I will say, it's been consistent. You know, they've been consistent in terms of if it's hit the ball on the arm, the penalty's usually been given. And so that's all you can ask. You know, if it's been different decisions at different times, that's all you can ask. The referees have been lenient at times. The referee last night for Mali against Mauritania was a disciplinarian. But you know what? That's what the clubs have to look. You don't just look at the opposition, you look at the referee as well. You have to play the referee. So I think the refereeing has been of a decent standard. You know, I'm not a big fan of referees because I was a player and I was a manager. You know, that's it. But you have to be honest and say the refereeing's been decent and the entertainment's been decent. And when you judge the refereeing by how much of the entertainment they take out of the game, and they haven't sucked the life out of games. They've let things go. You know, there's been plenty of incidents, and you look back, you look at them. They haven't got too many of the big decisions wrong, and that's all you can ask in the tournament this big. So yeah, the refereeing's been okay, and that's been good.
You spoke Ghana being a dynasty more than football. What makes you say that, and what went wrong with Ghana? Because there's so much expectations from them, especially when they go to such tournaments.
But you know what? Sometimes you just go a step too far. And I was looking at the Ayew brothers. You know, Andre's 32, Jordan's 30, and you know, I think there's an over-reliance on those players. And I saw it's a Haku coming for the last game, 17 years old. I thought, God, he's the best player on the pitch. You know, why hasn't that happened? Why hasn't that transition happened already? Why has it happened in the last game of the tournament when you need to win? You should have been in from the start. And sometimes that happens when you have great players who represent the country really brilliantly, that transition. I think it's happened naturally now. With Andre getting sent off, he's 32, it's most of his last Africa Cup of Nations. But they've got some wonderful players coming through. You know, Issa Haku, 17 years old, played the under-20s. He looks absolutely brilliant. And I think that was the problem. And it's not, you know, it's a nice problem to have. And you know what? I'd most probably make the same mistake. It's like a respect thing. The Ayews have been around. for so long. Obviously, the sons of Abidi Pele, an absolute god of football in Ghana. And so it's totally understandable. So maybe the natural transition has happened now, but in terms of this tournament, it's left them in the past. And that's really tough to take, because they were good enough to go through. I thought their attitude to the game against Gabon, the way they tried to shut the game down, was poor. I think they were unlucky with the sending off, in all honesty, against Comoros. But then you have to give the Comoros so much credit for sticking in there, because when it went 2-2, look, there was only one winner, but they came back, they took another deep breath and managed to get the winner. So yeah, it's just the end of an era for Ghana. But do you know what? Issa Haku says to me, there's another fantastic era just around the corner, because I was so impressed with him at 17 years old.
True, it's been very impressive, and people in Ghana have been asking, why hasn't he been playing? And let's talk about Algeria. Sure, I don't know what happened to Algeria. I can't explain what happened to Algeria. Champions knocked out in the group stages. What do you think happened to Algeria?
Well, do you know what I think happened? You know, I saw a couple of their games. I saw some highlights of their games. But the overriding thing with Algeria was them complaining about the pitch. It was like, oh, it's not our fault, it's the pitch. And when you go out there and say, oh, it's the pitch isn't good enough, and your attitude to the game is going to be all wrong. And maybe they were a little bit complacent as well. As champions, they just felt they just had to turn up and win. That's not how the Africa Cup of Nations works. And they've not only did they not qualify, they finished bottom of their group. So it wasn't like it was a tight thing. They were the worst team in their group. And so they need to go away, look at themselves, going in with a 35 run of games unbeaten, and maybe just thinking, you know what, we just have to turn up. So their preparation wasn't right, their attitude to the game wasn't right, and other teams was, and that's why they're out, and deservedly so on that showing.
Let's stay with North Africa. Now let's touch on Egypt and Morocco after that. How would you sum up Egypt in the group stages?
Well, Egypt were poor in their first game against Nigeria. The tactics were absolutely all wrong, weren't they? Mo Salah playing up front on his own, totally isolated. It's like, we've got the best player in the world. Let's smash it up to him, where it's two against one or 3 against 1, and just see if he can win us the game. It was never going to work. It was good that they adjusted that in the second game, and Salah went out to his favourite position out on the right, scored a terrific goal. Even though he's playing on the right, he scored a goal coming in just on the back post on the left, because it gave him that fluidity. He just seems more comfortable there. But they're missing chances, they're missing opportunities, and they know that they need to get better. The thing with Egypt, they can get better. There's room for improvement that they can realise. For Morocco have been my outsiders that superior for the tournament. I didn't hear a lot of people talking about them, but they've got some really good technicians. Saiss, the Wolves defender, is a really good defender, not only in terms of himself, how he organises the back four as well. So I wasn't surprised that they finished the top of their group. Boufal, who was in the Premier League with Southampton, scored in the first game late on to secure the 3 points. Very well organised, really disciplined, and they know what their weaknesses and strengths are. And that's really important to know, not only what your strengths, but your weaknesses as well. And so when you know your weaknesses, you're not going to do things that are out of your comfort zone. And that's why I just think a team that don't concede too many goals have always got a chance of going all the way in a tournament, if you're really well organised. And that's what I see Morocco as. So not surprised that they finished top of their group. And I do think it's a favourable draw in the last 16 against Malawi. No disrespect to Malawi, but I didn't know a lot about them. They are underdogs. And so Morocco, the pathway seems quite a good one for them to build and build and build to go close to going all the way.
Okay, cool. Now let's touch on some West Africans. Your country, Sierra Leone, they played their part, but Mali did very well. The Gambia, they surprised everyone. My goodness. Then you have Nigeria. I think Nigeria shocked everyone, with how they dealt with Egypt in the first game, and they've collected 9 points from the group stages.
Yeah, they've been terrific, and I was concerned with Nigeria because they sacked their coach before the tournament, and our friend, you know him well, Augustin Eguavoen, is sat on the touchline. I thought, well, I'm going to get behind him because my mate's there on the side, and boy, he's jumping up and down. He's the coolest man in football, but he's up and he's jumping and he's like enthusiastic. And so he should be, because they play some wonderful football. And so, yeah, I got it all wrong. Nigeria in terrific form. And, they have got some good players, though. But I just thought that they wouldn't come together. But they look like a team. They look well organised, and a team that no one wants to meet. In terms of Gambia, well, my sister lives in Gambia, and you know what? They're going mad, absolutely mad over there, and so they should be, because they played some really, really good football. They got over the line. They finished in second in their group, which was wonderful for their first time ever qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations. To get through the group stages is wonderful. But you know what? They'll feel that they can get a result against Guinea. Guinea, who have been decent, but no more than that. So the Gambia are on the up. The place is absolutely rocking. But you know what? The place is rocking in Sierra Leone as well. There were 2 draws. The late draw in their second game was just I can't. But I just remember the incident. I can't remember who it was against. But the goalkeeper, when he's going to kill the game, and it squeezes out from under his arm, and then Stephen Colker just taps it back, and the centre forward, and the place I was in the commentary, but I was jumping up and down. It's a wonderful moment, and it's a moment that'll go down in Sierra Leonean football history. And what it suggests now is that they can do it again, and they want to do it again, because I thought every player did themselves proud, and so yeah, and it's been a really good tournament for them to get a couple of points in that group, and to go right down to the wire in that final game against Equatorial Guinea, where obviously the penalty miss was, and then the instant right at the end, was it inside the box? There was real excitement. It didn't quite go their way, but boy, it's really lifted the nation. So well done to Sierra Leone and Gambia. They've and Nigeria. They've represented West Africa brilliantly.
And Mali, what have you made of Mali?
Look, I really like Mali. I just think they've got some great technicians. I think if there's 2 players in this tournament, I think are super outstanding, and I looked at midfield players. Well, 3. Thomas Partey. We all know about Thomas now. But Kessie is terrific, absolutely terrific, and the other one is Bissouma. I think Bissouma is a really wonderful player, and I think he's going to go a long way to keep his head on the ground. But he's an excellent technician, and I like the way that Mali play. They got everybody's comfortable on the ball. Doumbia got man of the match in the game against Mauritania, was excellent, great in tight areas. I like Nos in midfield, a left footer on set pieces. Kone, I know he scored 3 penalties, but he leads the line very, very well. Kouyaté and Sako at the back, the 2 centre-halves, really strong. Hadira, the captain at right back. I could go through the whole team. Munkoro in goal, good goalkeeper. In terms of goalkeeper, I think he's one of the best in the tournament. Just really, really competent in everything that he does. That's a dangerous team, and they don't concede goals. And I'm saying about teams who don't concede goals, who are well organised, that's Mali. And so they've got Equatorial Guinea. It'll be tough for Equatorial Guinea in the last 16. There's another side. If they get momentum, they played on a really difficult pitch yesterday. I think that the toughest pitch in the Cameroon, they made it look easy. They passed it 1 and 2 touch. Movement was excellent. And again, they've gone into the final stages in good shape, having rested players, brought players off the bench, and Kone went off. Bissouma went off. He just picked up a booking and he went off. Really good performance from Mali. So again, representing West Africa, you just feel no disrespect to Gambia. I know the Gambia's been saying, we can win it. No, you can't. But you can't. But you maybe keep going. But I tell you that Mali and Nigeria can definitely go all the way and win this tournament.
Let's stay in West Africa. Cote d'Ivoire, they're doing very well, easily dispatched of Algeria yesterday. And Senegal, I'm not convinced with Senegal this time.
No, haven't really done it yet, have they? But we say we are not convinced, but they finished top of their group, Superior, playing rubbish. And so, and that's a really good place to be, playing rubbish and finish top of your group. Cape Verde in the next round, I expect them to win, and I think they might not play great, but they might play better. So the teams that can get slowly better and better and keep getting through are a dangerous side. And then when you've got Mane and Naby Keita in your side, then you've obviously got a chance. So in terms of Ivory Coast, I think they've got so many good players. And the front line keeps changing. If it was Cornet, Haller, and Gradle in the first game, and then Zaha, and Pepe came in. I thought did really well. Then Zaha was dropped after he won the penalty and got an assist in the second game. And Haaland looks like he's scoring goals. I know there's one disallowed towards the end of the game, but he's getting in the box and scoring goals. That's a nice thing to have. And then when you've got Kessie backing it up in midfield, then you feel right. Yeah, they keep those key players fit. They've got a chance. So Egypt is a big game for Ivory Coast. It's a massive game. If they come through that, then they'll be very dangerous.
All right, well, let's talk about the underdogs. You know, the Malawis who made it through to the round of last 16, Comoros, we have Gambia. Which one has really impressed you the most? You know, in terms of.
I think the Gambia impressed me the most. They've been brilliant. They've been really defensively sound as well. You know, Comoros snuck through against Ghana. That was the most exciting game that I thought. You know, in terms of sending offs and the 10 men of Ghana. So, but I do think the Gambia have been the most impressive. But it's going to be tough for those sides. Malawi, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about Malawi. I haven't covered them. I'm covering them on Tuesday against Morocco, and I'm looking forward to that. But then when you don't know a lot about teams, they've got nothing to lose. And you saw in that game against Ghana from Comoros, the player sent off, all of a sudden it gives them a lift. They think, hey, maybe it's our day. And in a one-off game where it's winner takes all, that's what could happen. But if anything, of those games, I think the Gambia have got the best chance maybe of going through.
All right. Now let's have a look at the predictions. Burkina Faso, Gabon.
2-1 Burkina Faso.
Nigeria, Tunisia.
2-0 Nigeria.
Senegal, Cape Verde.
2-1 Senegal.
Mali, Equatorial Guinea.
3-0 Mali.
Okay. Guinea, Gambia.
1-1 Gambia win after extra time.
Cameroon, Comoros.
3-0. 3-0 Cameroon.
Okay. Ivory Coast, Egypt.
2-1 Ivory Coast.
Okay. Morocco, Malawi.
2-0 Morocco.
2-0 Morocco. All right. Thank you, Lee. We'll see you after the round of 16.
No problem, mate. You take care. See you soon.